Hi guys, it's Kelly Harris here from KDS Gtechniq. We're on to the cleaning stage. So let me go through very briefly what's involved before we put nano coating. So this is the cleaning stage after polishing. So the first thing we do with an airline, we blow the car down, all over the car, working on the top, working down, and we'd wet the floor down, and then all the dust is grabbed into the floor. Then we dry the floor. That was done earlier. Then we go around the edges. So we go around the edges, so we try and remove as much of the dust as possible. So as an example, if there was dust in there, and then we use nano coating over this surface and wiping, as we go over there, the dust could fall out, goes on your cloth. As you're buffing over, putting the nano coatings on or wiping them off, you're putting microscopic scratches back into the paint, which is a really stupid thing to do when you spent all this time polishing it. So we're not actually worried about cleaning the middle of the panel at the moment. We're thinking of nano coatings now, how to apply nano coatings and to minimise, almost reduce to zero damage and marring. We call microscopic marring from rubbing of a cloth on the surface. So Ash is going around with me. I'll show you what I mean by cleaning down. So I'm going to flood this cloth with IPA again. So this is our preferred spray bottles for this sort of process. I love the fact with my trolley there I can hang them on the side, makes it very easy. So I'll show you an example here of when we clean. We're going around all the edges, and you can see the dirt there, see it on that camera there, and it removes all the dust and dirt and debris that's trapped in the shuts and seals all around these gaps and edges. So in here, this can be between an hour to 2 to 3 hours sometimes of cleaning, depending on the condition of the car, how dirty it was, how much polishing we've done. But what we're trying to do is polish around the edge without going onto the face. More chance of that scratching the paint than obviously a brand new clean cloth. These are good cloths that have been washed and tumble dried. What they're not is they're brand new cloths. So what we have in here are brand new tumble dried cloths. We've ripped the label off the moment we go to use them. So they are washed, tumble dried, put into this sealed box, lid on, as our best cloths. They are our best cloths for applying nano coatings. Once they've been used once or twice, maybe once, we then turn them into these cloths, so it's the edges, and then they get cycled down further and further down, so they do wheel arches, and then they get thrown away. So let me go and do a couple of edges. Well, actually I can walk around to show you what Ashley's doing. Just going around all the edges, very carefully, very precisely, pinching the cloth into a little thin sliver to get around all these gaps and all these little crease lines where every bit of dust and dirt gets trapped. Because as I said just a minute ago, when you come along with your cloth and you go over the surface, wiping off the residue of nano coatings, in this case Gtechniq, that dirt can come out of that edge, gets onto the cloth, you're rubbing in dirt, which is putting microscopic scratches in the nano coatings or in the paint before the nano coatings have had a chance to cure. So I'll pick another cloth up. So these I wouldn't want to rub over the face because they're not, they are clean and washed, but they're not brand new. So I've got a completely wet cloth. I can now pinch a little area. I can wipe in that gap in there. And I'm looking for any dirt and debris and black. Once it's clean, you won't see any more. So imagine if you was then to put nano coatings and you rub onto the rubber trim here, and that dirt gets trapped in because the nano coatings have sealed it. So we're trying to now, this is actually a very hard part of the process really, because we're trying to clean everywhere possible, remove every little bit of dirt out of every gap without scratching the surface. So Ash has gone and picked up some cocktail sticks. So I'll show you in a drawer. We've got cocktail sticks, cotton buds. So cotton buds and cocktail sticks for scraping out edges and cleaning down edges. Ash is going along there and just a little bit of dried out compound, or could be transport wax, but along the edge. Obviously it's very easy to slip and scratch with the cocktail sticks. You've got to Be very, very steady hand and careful. So this leads me onto this trolley. Let me show you what this trolley is. I'll get a stool actually. So let me run through the trolley quickly. It's a Poker Premium trolley. Great little trolley. Can be used for multiple reasons and purposes. So as you can see, it holds polishers very, very nicely. Hook them in to that slot there. You've got a nice little holder for cables. So if you've got ones with cables, you wrap the cable around. Now I've added some extra trays which you can get from Poker Premium. So you can put detailing brushes in there, hook things in there. This handle here is great for hanging on. I've put this extra tray on here, so it's not going to happen, but then it's not going to fall down. And if this broke, let me turn it around. If that broke there, it'd fall onto there, not onto the floor and splashing everywhere. And it might occasionally happen when you're unscrewing up, that could crack. Haven't had one happen yet, but I'm always thinking of what could happen, what if. So that's like a safety tray. My magnetic lights, I'll stick on there, which I like. You saw that I had a magnetic bracket. Slot it in, slot it over, as we had yesterday, and now you can stick that on there and you can have it tilted at angles, whatever angle you want. So you can imagine now, because of the Poker Premium trolley, I can turn that like that because of the magnet bracket there. I can now spray this in one little area, fold that into that gap carefully and wipe down through there. The dust goes with it. So you won't see anything on there because it's light dust. And that's after I've blown it, because unfortunately compound dust is sticky, it's wet, it's obviously a liquid. So it doesn't all go when you blow it down. So again, what we've done, we've blown the car down, we go around all the edges, and once all the edges are done, we dust it off. So what I'm doing, you might be able to see this on the head cam, possibly. There'll be some fluff and dirt and dust landing on the surface. We go over and over and over it. And this is before we then use IPA and panel wipe. So we do wash these, they get dirty, or buy new ones and then cycle them down through their process, just like the cloths. So then the next part of the process is, I'd remove a cloth, rip the label off, give it a good shake, fluff it up, get it as square as possible. I don't want it screwed up like this because of the pressure and uneven and sharp edges. And then I'm going to fold the cloth. I'm now going to gently, evenly flood the cloth. So I'm doing this. Very close and very even, not a full trigger. Start from the middle. I'm going to do a section at a time. Down the middle. I'll flip the cloth now. So now I'm holding the wet side, so the alcohol could take off some oils on my skin and reapply them. Normally that'd be an issue, but in this case, we're going to panel wipe afterwards. Now this one I've fully removed all the fillers. That's what the panel wipe's job is. So I'm going to go around the other side and repeat the process. So now that's all IPA'd. I've just done that as a bonnet as an example because Ashley hasn't finished doing all the edges yet. We can't actually do this on the entire car. So some smears still, which don't go with the panel wipe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some gloves on. Powder-free nitrile gloves. And then I put those on my hands. I've got huge hands, so they don't actually fit very well. They're large. So you know what I say about large hands. Gloves don't fit. So, new cloth for the panel wipe. Nice and square, nice even pressure, use flat hands. So I'm going to get a take-off cloth this time. Let's get rid of the smears as well. Put that underneath. Same thing. Put that over there. There's the drying one. So now I'm going to evenly put on the Gtechniq panel wipe. Never spray this towards the car. You can get overspray on the car. Put that back on there. So you'll be able to see now, I'm pushing it around very gently and I'm going to use this cloth to take it off. And go down, doing squares at a time, So I know I've not missed anywhere. Flip the cloth before it's dry. I don't want smears left behind, any residue. What I don't want to do is rub the product on and leave it to flash off. You'll leave the smear residues behind. So while it's wet, it's a very fast process, but very gentle, wiping it dry. So what it should be is a smear-free, clean, squeaky clean bare paint surface. It's a flawless finish. There's no dust and dirt on there. Perfect finish. That's it. It is. Ready for nano coatings. Which it is. That's fine. So I'm going to conclude this video here because it's going to be about an hour, hour and a half of us doing exactly the same thing as what we've just done that bonnet. Going around all the edges. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's cleanliness. The trolley aids in so many ways. I've even put paper in there. We clean the trolley down. You can have the lights on the side, so when we go around the side, I don't necessarily need to pick up this. Dust it all down. Once it's all dusted, alcohol wipe, clean it all down. Then once it's done, the Gtechniq panel wipe, clean it all down. Then we've got the squeaky paint, like I described in a previous video, where you saw on the demo training panel we have, of why you take all the fillers out of all the compounds. So what essentially we're doing, there's no nastiness and surprise. When we go to put on a nano coating, you've got warning symbols, flammable, volatile, harmful. There's solvents involved in those products. So if we hadn't have panel wiped this down through the polishing stage and then the finishing stage, what you can get caught into, you put these nano coatings on a car, the car looked flawless and perfect. You put that product on, it becomes the world's most expensive panel wipes. We have a massive issue with the cross-contamination, but more importantly, the solvents in those actually remove the fillers from the polishing stage because you didn't use the correct process to remove the fillers. There's one guy, a red BMW, used to be in the Metropolitan Police, I taught a few years ago, that actually didn't do panel wipe. He thought he used panel wipe, but the product he was using, called a cleanser, was actually adding. And yes, that's true. We'll show you another video that some of the paint cleansers don't add at all. They actually sort of remove. They don't remove, they add. So what he had done, he'd use a paint cleanser, checked with a light source like this. I think he said he put it in the sun, and it looked flawless. Then he used EXO V4. I think it might have been V3, but anyway, V3 or V4 because it was about 2 years ago. And he said he rubbed it all over the car, and they had all swirls in the car afterwards. So he said that Gtechniq has scratched his paint. And I explained, this can't, it's liquid. The process of rubbing can, but the liquid can't. So yes, he might have had dirty cloths, he might have had the wrong applicators, he might not have dusted the car down, he might not have panel wiped it correctly, but more importantly, it wasn't just a little bit, it was really bad. What he'd done, it actually used the EXO from Gtechniq and has used it as a panel wipe without knowing. So his car looked worse because it had stripped all the fillers left behind from the polishing process. And the cleanser it had used is actually adding to the paint, not removing, so it's making the car look shinier. But you imagine cleansing means cleaning, removing. It doesn't always mean that. So it's smoke and mirrors in the detailing trade. So unfortunately his car looked terrible. So we brought the car in as part of his training, repolished his bonnet properly, did this and then put Gtechniq on, and it was lovely. Lovely on deep red, no swirls, didn't have a pink look like this does at Rough Cut. So hopefully this has helped explain why we take hours and hours before we even coat the car. So what we're going to do, the next stage, will be actually putting nano coatings on. Gtechniq Crystal Serum Ultra. There are going to be two of us doing the actual nano coating application. It's a lot easier with two. So as always, like, subscribe, smash the bell button. If you want to hear anything more from us, comment below. I'm Kelly Harris with KDS Gtechniq. Thank you. Goodbye.